Hello, everyone. My name is Evan Jacobs, and welcome to another edition of Boxing Time TV. Sorry, I should have done that in the beginning. I just had to adjust the speed. If I don't do that, they'll fight like like it's like 1900s, piano playing. Anyway, yeah, I just had to fix that. Odds are even on this fight. It's a fight I'm excited about just because I followed their fathers and because, these guys are interesting fighters. On October 10th, Conor Benn taking on Chris Eubank Jr. Ben's 25, Eubank is 32. Conor Benn is 5'8", Eubank is 5'11". Conor Benn's coming up from welterweight, so I have him coming in about 155. Eubank, I think, is going to need all the weight, and I almost made him 160 just to kind of give him a break, but apparently they're going to each be fined $100,000 for every pound over the limit to really incentivize them to come in on weight. 68 reach for Benn, 63 reach for Eubank, 21-0 Conor Benn, Chris Eubank Jr. 32 wins, 2 losses, lost at the highest level to Billy Joe Saunders and George Groves. Scheduled 12-round bout, 3-minute round, 10-point must scoring system, no mandatory 8 count, 3 knockdown rule waived. Let's get right to this. I think Conor Benn is probably going to win this fight. I think the one thing about Chris Eubank Jr., I think he's good, think he's talented, think he's all these things. At the same time, I think that he can be outworked. There's just something about him. But you never know. He's the bigger fighter. He might really get up for this fight in a way that he hasn't gotten up for other fights. And so that, I'm just saying, their fathers fought in the ring. How often do the kids fight in the ring? That is a stat that I don't know. If anyone else does, if you want to put a comment in the comments, let me know. I know that it's had to have happened before, but just this is like I remember, like I was young enough when Chris Eubank Sr. beat Nigel Benn in the first fight. Nigel Benn, the father of Conor Benn. Oh, that's a nice right hand from Conor Benn, although Chris Eubank Jr. doing a pretty good job of controlling the distance. I remember after that fight, Eubank Sr. saying that, he'll never fight Nigel Benn again. And then they fought again, and Nigel Benn had become something of a boxer. It was really interesting, the transformation that he made from being an all-out slugger, fighting, the way he fought against Doug DeWitt, the way he fought, I want to say, against Iran Barkley. Anyway, it was impressive, and they fought to a draw on the second fight, and then I don't believe they fought a third time. So, this is exciting. And right now, pretty even first round. A little bit more technical than I think people are probably expecting, but I think that it'll heat up. And Ben doing a good job of counterpunching, and Chris Eubank Jr. has to be kind of weary of that. I made both these guys big punchers. One thing I think's been interesting about Conor Benn is he stepped up his level of competition, even though it was against a used up Chris Algieri and Sammy Vargas, questionable. He's been knocking out guys that are, that were at one point top guys. Level of opposition has increased. Eubank Jr., I think it's hard. I just think based on his losses, I think can be just outworked. It's just one of those things. And so, that's going to, I think, tell the tale in this fight. And Conor Benn getting that round on all 3 judges' scorecards. I don't know. I thought that it could have been even. We'll see if Chris Eubank Jr. comes out to maybe do a little bit more. I think maybe he also wants Conor Benn to kind of extend himself a little bit. They did have this bout even. And, I think this is a good fight. It's one of those things that for Conor Benn. He wins. It makes him just that much bigger in his homeland. And, he's a welterweight coming up. Who knows? Maybe he shows some power. Maybe, and maybe he can compete at middleweight later. The problem for Conor Benn is he's fighting in a welterweight division. It's a talent-rich division with the likes of Errol Spence, with the likes of Bud Crawford, with the likes of Virgil Ortiz, just Keith Thurman. It's just filled with, good guys. So we will have to see. Coming up, I think next I'm going to do is Shakur Stevenson versus Consacao. Oh, look, and Conor Benn counter-punching off the ropes. And then Dimitri Bivol versus Zurdo Ramirez. And then I want to do Fury versus Hunter. So, got a lot of bouts I still planning on doing. I'd wanted to do Teofimo Lopez's comeback fight. It just sadly did not happen. And Conor Benn, sharp, really, really sharp in this fight. Maybe that's, maybe him being the smaller guy, that's something that could really play into his favor. Oh, and Chris Eubank Jr. landing some hard shots against Conor Benn. All right, so right now, Chris Eubank Jr. Oh, and Ben has a swollen eye. Junior's breathing heavy. We will see. Hold on. All right, high drama here. Chris Eubank Jr. coming out, and wow. Two of the judges have it even. One judge gives it to Chris Eubank Jr. So now Conor Benn's only up by 2 points. Swollen eye going into the third round. Things are getting even more interesting here as Conor Benn comes out and tries to counterpunch. And Chris Eubank is trying to look sharp, fight from a distance. And once again, you are watching Boxing Time TV. If you like what you're seeing, if you like what you're seeing here, please like, comment, and follow. Please share these links with your family and friends. Just thank you so much for tuning in. Give us a follow on Instagram, Boxing Time with Evan. I try to do one podcast a week. Try to do a post every day. On the Instagram page. I do a lot of stuff where I remind people, hey, you can watch these simulated fights, and I also do whatchamacallit. I also post a lot of like press releases and whatnot. So I do my best. just to post every day, to keep up on the boxing news. Make it real simple. Make it so that if you go to my Instagram page, you can find out what's going on with boxing and just read a few of the posts, and you'll be like caught up. At least that's my goal. Hopefully I achieve it. And right now, Eubank just coming out now and smothering Conor Benn. Guys, I tell you what I think is going to happen. I think Chris Eubank is going to work his way back into this fight like he's doing right now. And I think Conor Benn's going to start exploding. And I think he is going to do something to Chris Eubank. I think Conor Benn is feeling it right now. He is letting Chris Eubank extend himself. And in the next round, what we're going to do is we'll go over their records. And it's going to be that is what we're going to get to shortly. All right, and Chris Eubank Jr. We got it on all three judges' scorecards. And then Conor Benn making it even, and two of the judges giving it to Chris Eubank Jr. Now it's even as we go into the fourth round. So looking at the record of Chris Eubank Jr. Like I said, he only has the two losses to Billy Joe Saunders and George Groves. Victories over Liam Williams, Matthew Kobarov, or James DeGale, like I said, George Groves, Abney Yildirim, Arthur Abraham, Tony Jeter, Dimitri. Oh, and Chris Eubank Jr. wobbling Conor Benn and knocking him down. Folks, oh my goodness, did Chris Eubank Jr. pull it off? Oh, Conor Benn getting up, and he's going to want to get some get back. He does not want to go out like this. Is Chris Eubank Jr. just too big for him? Does he hit too hard? Folks, I'm telling you, his eye is swollen. He's been dropped. We will have to see if this is enough now. Wow, folks, that one I did not see coming. As I'm going over the bona fides of Chris Eubank Jr., he had a slow first round, but he's turned it up now. And now it looks like he has Conor Benn right where he wants him. Conor Benn just seems, just sort of trying to collect himself. He goes to the body. He stays against the ropes. I don't know that that's where he wants to be. He's not getting much cover there. Wow. Chris Eubank Jr. exploding in the fourth round. I did not expect that. Folks, this is wow. All right, and Chris Eubank Jr. going for it. So like I said, he has a good record, beaten a lot of guys, just has kind of lost at the top level of the sport. We'll see if this can be, if this can be rectified. Wow, that was just surprising. Wow. So they're saying Ben's very tired and has a swollen eye. Eubank Jr. is breathing heavy. 10-8, 10-9, 10-8, all for Chris Eubank Jr. So he's pulling way ahead. He's 5 points ahead. But folks, I'm not counting out Conor Benn yet. I think Chris Eubank Jr., if he gets a few more rounds like that under his belt, 1 to 2 more rounds like that under his belt, he will have Ben right where he wants him. But guys, I still think it's early in the fight. We're only in round 5. In the next round, what I'll do, because I can't do it right now because then it'll kind of pause the action. I don't really want to do that. So yeah, I think that and right now, Conor Benn trying to keep him off him as Chris Eubank Jr. feels he has him. Conor Benn just seems kind of rattled. He's taken a lot of punches. He's been hit. He's being tested right now. Maybe didn't expect the power of it. He had to. He had to know that there was going to be power coming from Chris Eubank Jr. Wow, folks. That I did not expect that. And right now, Conor Benn, though, but he's doing enough to fight off the ropes. He's doing enough to keep Chris Eubank Jr. And that's what I think. I think Conor Benn, though, is looking to counterpunch. Maybe he's looking too much for that one shot. Needs to be letting his hands go. Maybe if he's waiting for Chris Eubank Jr. to slow down, I just don't know that that's going to happen. Chris Eubank Jr. is so up for this fight, wants to uphold the legacy of his family. And this is also for Britain. It's for the UK. And bragging rights. Me, here I am saying, I think Conor Benn is going to do it. And like I just put the fighters in there. This shows you guys, I mean, I in no way have a dog in the fight. I can get it wrong. And I may have gotten it wrong. We are going to find out. Oh, and Conor Benn cracking him, going to the body. He wants to do more of that, but he's got that swollen eye. Sorry, I'm just opening something up. So right now, Ben still has a swollen eye. That round, 10-9 for Ben, 10-9 for Chris Eubank. One judge has it even. So Conor Benn stops the bleeding in that round and is only down by 5 points as we go into the 6th round. And we'll see, can Chris Eubank Jr. keep this up? Is Conor Benn waiting for him to come on? We are about to find out, folks. Look at that. All right. Well, right, so right now, Chris Eubank Jr., folks, this fight heating up, this fight becoming something super duper interesting, and I am very, very excited about it. I'm saying, like, I'm impressed with the work, but is Chris Eubank Jr. slowing down a little bit? Is he creating a situation for Conor Benn to get more into this fight? Conor Benn go to the body. Conor Benn maybe hurt Chris Eubank in such a way. That is what remains to be seen as we move through this contest. Oh, so Ben is breathing heavy and has a swollen eye. Eubank Jr. Now, Conor Benn evens it in that round, but one judge has it 10-8 for Chris Eubank, another judge has it 10-8 for Chris Eubank. I'm going to bring it over right now to the stats of Conor Benn, and we are going to go to back to the action. So Conor Benn falling behind, folks. He's got 6 rounds to make it up. He still can do it. I have a feeling that he's going to. I don't think that he's done yet. I just think he's I don't know that he's going to win. And I believe that Chris Eubank probably has this kind of figured out. And I mean, he's really pulling ahead in the points. He's up by 9 points. And now he's got him on the ropes. And maybe he's looking to finish him. And maybe Conor Benn needs to let his hands go more, because right now it's not looking good for him, folks. And Chris Eubank Jr. just getting it done here, folks. Landing, punching, doing the things that he needs to do. Yeah. Not too much more I can say other than wow. So now they're saying that Ben is very tired and has a swollen eye. Chris Eubank Jr. is breathing heavy. So, folks, 10-8 all across the board for Chris Eubank Jr. He is now up by 15 points, and we have 5 more rounds left to go. And, folks, I just think Chris Eubank Jr. is pulling ahead. For various reasons, size. He just has Conor Benn's number. This doesn't mean Conor Benn can't come back. This doesn't mean that Conor Benn won't come back. It's just right now, Chris Eubank Jr. is getting it done. Oh, and he wobbles Conor Benn again. Goes for an uppercut. I don't know that Chris Eubank Jr. realized how bad he had him hurt. Maybe Chris Eubank Jr. is a little bit fatigued. But wow. Oh, and Chris Eubank Jr., folks, just pouring it on onto. All right, I'm going to get back to the action here. I apologize. And the Conor Benn's eye, he's exhausted, swollen shut, he's breathing heavy. Chris Eubank Jr., another 10-8s across the board. Conor Benn, folks, just getting his head handed to him. He's now behind by 21 points. This ain't looking good for him. It doesn't mean that he can't come back. He has power. He can counterpunch, but he's not letting his hands go. He's not doing the things that he needs to do. And right now, Chris Eubank Jr. just seems to have him in its target practice. And I did not expect this. I thought it would be more competitive. Chris Eubank Jr.'s pretty much had it the whole fight. After the first round, he came on. He put some swelling on Conor Benn's eye. Now it's swollen shut. I don't know if the judges are going to stop it. And yeah, he has just had a masterful performance. I mean, except right there, right as I say that, he gets cracked. But you guys all get what I am saying. Oh, and continuing to go to the body, Chris Eubank Jr., I think he wants to finish him. I think he wants to render him a tattered rag. We'll see if that is possible. And I'm telling you, that was a mean right hand that Chris Eubank threw. Conor Benn just ducked it. And folks, I'm telling you, it's not looking good for Conor Benn right now. I am surprised. And like I said, I got no dog in this fight. I'm not surprised. I'm only surprised. I thought Conor Benn would give up just a better performance, but wow. It's pretty much all I can say. Wow. I just thought it would have been better, but you know what? It is what it is, folks, and we are not going to complain here. And now he's exhausted, eyes swollen shut. Now judges are giving Chris Eubank Jr. 10-7, 10-7, 10-7 as we go into the 10th round. So now looking at the record of Conor Benn, beaten Chris Van Herdeen. He beat Chris Algieri, beaten Adrian Granados, Samuel Vargas, Sebastian Formanella. But he is a welterweight. Now, my thing is the computer would not take that into account. I thought the computer would match them just as is. But, we had him at I had him at 155. It was just a 2-pound difference. And, man, Chris Eubank Jr. is he's got him hurt to the body. Chris Eubank Jr. going for it now. Conor Benn's wobbling. I mean, they could stop the fight. I mean, he is behind by 30 points. He's just getting punched into the ropes. He's taking a beating. I'm surprised someone hasn't stopped the fight yet. Maybe Conor Benn can find something, but I think Chris Eubank Jr. has this well in hand. He doesn't look like he's slowing down. Doesn't look like he's going to get outworked. He's up for this fight, and it shows. Oh, and Conor Benn just getting tagged. Folks, if he gets up, it's going to be a miracle. Chris Eubank Jr. has put the hurt on him, and I think he's going to stay down. I think but he gets up. I'm surprised. Just stop the fight, folks. Come on. Computer boxing game. Once again, I feel like Howard Cosell when Larry Holmes fought Randy Tex Cobb. Stop the fight. What more do we need to see? Chris Eubank Jr. is the better man tonight. It's just one of those things. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen in real life. In real life, I honestly think Conor Benn is going to pull it off, but you never know. These guys get up for it, and Chris Eubank Jr. got up for it tonight, even though it's a simulation. And wow. And you got to be careful still, I guess. Conor Benn drops him again with body shots. I'm sorry, Chris Eubank Jr. drops him again with body shots. And, I mean, just come on. Come on. It's over. And the winner by knockout, Chris Eubank Jr. I mean, come on. Wow. So the winner by knockout, Chris Eubank Jr. The fight lasted 10 rounds. Benn was knocked down 3 times. His eye was swollen shut. Jr. was not knocked down. The final scores are 88-81, 89-77, 89-78, all for Chris Eubank Jr. Thank you so much for everyone for tuning in to Boxing Time TV, where our motto is, why wait? Watch it now. Then watch the real thing when it airs and compares. And you please give us a follow on Instagram. Our Boxing Time with Evan is the handle there. We would love it. We would greatly appreciate it. And thank you so much. We will see you next time on Boxing Time TV, where I just said what our thing is. And so I'm totally thrown off. See you next time.